Good morning, everyone. Treasure Troller here, recapping Alone Season 10. I think Episode 8. We're here at the Ludington City Beach. And I know that guy, I think, what is it, Kevin Hart, that's always commenting about the Lone Vlogs. He's probably going, let me see if I can do this right. Yeah, see, I would take a couple of them volleyball nets and cut them in half and use them as gill nets. Not a bad idea, I guess. So here's what everybody comes to Ludington for, the beach. And if you look way, 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 way in the distance, you can probably see Wisconsin. So, let's see. We talk about, I guess the first thing we got to talk about is Cade. I mean, I don't know what the hell he was thinking when that's right. Cade tapped out already. So, you know, there's always the edit excuse, or you didn't show me when I was fishing hard and this and that. You know, I'm a little bit disappointed that my pick to be the season winner is Taz. And Taz tapped out. And I guess the only thing on the personal side is he's talking about missing his family. His family lives, even when he's not on Alone, his family lives on another continent. So I'm not really sure why that factored in. I mean, he's missing maybe a Zoom call. I don't know. But the one thing that I'm beginning to wonder about is maybe there's some sort of financial bonus for tapping out and using the excuse, I didn't want to cause any more harm to my body. We've seen that quite a bit. We've seen people tap out really sooner than they should have. I mean, what happened in the good old days where they knew they were in trouble, but they tried to hide it and the doctors forced them to leave, or the medical personnel forced them to leave? The good old days, the old school Alone, where they toughed it out, where you had to remove them. Not anymore. It kind of reminds me of the NFL with the contact rules. Now they're, I don't know what they call them, vulnerable receivers. You can't hit above, you can't hit the head, you can't hit the knees. Defenseless receiver. The quarterbacks, you can only hit them in the back. You can barely touch them, and it's a flag for unnecessary roughness. It's just Alone has gotten to the point where it's like touch football. It's touch Alone. Oh, I'm feeling my stomach hurts. It must be hunger. I don't want to make it turn into an ulcer. I guess I'll tap out now. It's getting pretty sad. There must be some sort of financial reward for tapping out and using, I just don't want to do any harm to my body. That's got to be it. $500,000, dude. Just tough it out one more day. But as far as Taz goes, I really think he did everything wrong. Up until maybe they're at day 40 now, they spent about the last 3 weeks in the latter stages of like day 35 to day 40. They really dragged that out. But the weather has been very mild. It's been above freezing. I'm not really sure what a food cache is trying to store fresh meat when the temperatures are above freezing, how that is going to help. I just never understood that. He wasted a lot of food, and then the one day they showed him possibly the day before he taps out. Well, the big hunting adventure was, going down to the swamp and looking to see if there was a moose in there. Well, there's no moose. I guess I'll leave now. So he goes home and makes a guitar. I knew he was tapping out when I saw him making the guitar. I knew he was gone. Or the ukulele, or that piece of wood with a couple of strings on it, wasting fishing wire on the guitar during daylight. You could have been fishing. You could have been fishing. If you want to make a guitar, do it at night when it's dark and you're sitting in your tent or your shelter, whatever you want to call it, and make it then. Don't make it when there's daylight to burn. No gill net. He made one gill net, and that was it. These other contestants, the gill net gets ruined. They pull it out. They put it back in. He could have spent that day, rather than making a guitar, make another damn gill net. But you got a nice little souvenir to take home and show your kids over Zoom the guitar you made. I don't understand. I think he wasted a lot of time. I think I would think someone that basically lives like this would understand you can't store food when it's above freezing. It's nuts. Melanie, she's hanging around. I'd be disappointed if she wins. I got to give her credit for staying as long as she has, but the berry pickers, just the vegetarians on this show kind of get to me. Alan, I don't like his sense of humor. That's the only thing about Al. He's doing a really good job. I don't like his sense of humor. I just don't. Sorry. He's doing a good job, though. And then we got Mikey. Mikey's doing well. I think he's adapting well. And then Wyatt. They didn't show much of Wyatt. The first scene they showed his arm, and I couldn't tell. It kept looking really close, and I couldn't tell if it was camera angle, if it was shadow, what it was. But it looked like he had kind of an infected bump on his arm. It didn't look good. And then in the previews and what they've been showing before, it must be like he must have yanked out either the splinter that he thought he took off broke off, or he had to pull two parts of the splinter out of his arm. So I think he must have had another piece of splinter in there. The boat thing, I've talked about putting some rules together or some things you should do to win alone. One of the things I'm going to say is don't make a boat. Just don't make a boat. I saw him get in that boat, the way he's sitting in it, and I'm going, shit, he ain't gonna last very long in that thing. He must have been out, maybe a half hour fishing, if that, and his legs started bothering him. It's too uncomfortable. And I know I've gone back and forth with the tree stand. I don't think a tree stand would be any more comfortable than sitting in that boat. Now that you're like standing on one limb or something, they might be able to come up with something like that, like the chair that Taz had made, where they might be able to maybe build something like a little platform to stand on. That's possible. it'd be a hell of a lot of time better spent doing that than making a boat. And you know, I'm not, like I said, I'm not particularly fond of the tree stand, because after a few days they're going without food and they're getting kind of dizzy and falling out of the tree stand. So I'm not sure that I would I'm not sure I would go along with that. Now, maybe if they gave them some sort of, their camera gear was wrapped with they give them a life preserver if they're going to go out in a boat. Why they wouldn't give them like a strap for, if they wanted to make a tree stand, they could use a safety strap, a safety harness for that. And then Alan, you know, he does the hack. Alan does the hack for catching pike. He puts it on a leader. He makes his own leader. So I don't really understand why they won't give him a couple of leaders to take with them. It just doesn't make sense. If they can make it out of their own wire, their trapping wire, I don't know why they can't just give them a couple leaders to use. But that's neither here nor there. Alan found the hack. Props to Alan. No more jokes. Just keep making leaders. Keep proving me right, and you'll do fine. But I don't really have like an odds-on favor right now. And I know that when I pick people, it's a kiss of death. So I knew it was, kind of bad news for Taz when I said, we'll go this way. I don't need my glasses in there, my sunglasses. I knew it was kind of a kiss of death when I picked Alan, because whoever I pick, they don't do well. And so our Taz, I'm sorry, Taz. I did you wrong. And before we go, we'll show you the shelters here on. We'll show you some of the shelters here at Ludington. Let's see if we can get them. Let's see how close I can get them for you. Can I get any closer than that? Not really, maybe. I'm sorry. I thought I could, but those, let's see. I don't like messing with this. But those over there are Epworth Heights. Okay. And that's the that's the rich folk that come into Ludington. Along the lake there are cottages. There's some cottages on the lake. They're shelters. Stick-built shelters. So that's about it. Don't have a favorite right now. I think, 3 of the 4 are doing pretty good. So we'll have to wait till next week. I think we'll get a tap out next week. I think we'll see at least one tap out. Hopefully it's Melanie. I hate to be wrong. So I should pick Melanie to win. Melanie's going to be the winner of Alone. So with that, this is Treasure Troller saying aloha and good day.